And yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what to expect for these next two episodes, but giving your brother a helping hand like that is crazy. Hey, what's going on, folks? Another episode of Ryan Reviews Everything, and boy, oh boy, we're talking about the latest episode of White Lotus. And between this episode and the previous episodes, they letting everything fly, man. Especially this episode, it just gets even crazier. We definitely see, well, for those who are new to this channel, I'm not going to go in chronological order. More so just characters that stood out the most. And so with that being said, we got to start with Saxon and his brother Jaclyn. Throughout the entire episode, like, pieces of memories kind of get back to him of how the night went down with Chloe and Chelsea. And boy, I don't know what YouTube censors nowadays, but if you've seen the thumbnail, that says brotherly love on it, you get my drift, especially if you saw this episode. It was wild, especially once you see the entire picture unfold. And I don't know what to make of that, man. I know one thing. I know Chloe is still trying to, well, not still. Chloe, her spot got blown up. Her sugar daddy, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, Greg, really found out what happened. Or he already had an idea what happened. And in a creepy way, instead of trying to break up with her, he just says, you know what, whoever you slept with, just bring him to the house. He's apparently having some house get together, which I don't know what to expect with that. And it must be something bad, because you notice when Chloe is told that, instead of approaching Jaclyn about coming to her boyfriend's house, she goes to Saxon. Since, I guess you could, I don't even know what you would call that. I think threesome would be an incorrect description of what went down. But Chloe invites Saxon over, and there is this thought that's thrown out there by Chelsea that, you know what, maybe the boyfriend likes some Three's Company action. Maybe a tag team session between Chloe, her boyfriend, and Saxon might go down, and he feels turned off. And and they're like, why do you feel so weird about it? Y'all just had a roundabout situation with your younger brother Jaclyn. And yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what to expect for these next two episodes, but giving your brother a helping hand like that is crazy. I'll just leave it at that. I've said too much already. Hopefully nothing gets, barred or censored, whatever. And I think the next one I like to go with is Tim Ratliff. The way the very first scene of this episode started, like, it took me like 10 seconds into that scene to realize, yeah, this has to be a dream, because that was just so intense. And starting an episode like that off would also just be wild. But we definitely see him. He has visions of unaliving himself. And then after talking, later on in the episode, we see he talks to his wife, and the wife was like, look, if we lost everything, I don't know how we could survive, especially she's trying to, I guess put this type of idea that, we can't have our daughter go to this, spend a year in Thailand. She's going to think being broke is a great idea. And one thing for sure, I can't be broke. I can't survive that, which of course makes the husband feel even worse. I'm still convinced that I feel like Tim is going to somehow, some way, try to figure out a way to stay in Thailand. He realized, just imagine how sick of a sinking feeling that is, to know that you got a whole pile of just a nightmare waiting for you when you get back to the States. So I feel like in order to avoid some jail time, to avoid some type of embarrassment, instead of the unaliving option, he may just have to stay out in Thailand. And the reason why I get that, we see he speaks to the monk that his daughter's going to be staying with, in terms of, learning from him for a year. He's asking certain questions like, what do you think happens when you pass away, and things like that. I really feel like although he's asking these questions, and we see these visions of him trying that option, I'm convinced that he probably will reconsider, and just stay in Thailand. Just lay low in Thailand. It may be hard convincing, but perhaps he might try to convince his wife and kids that we got to stay in Thailand. We can't go back home. We go back home, we're going to be broke, embarrassed, and I'm going to be in jail. I might be thrown under the jail. It sounds like he did some type of Ponzi scheme type of stuff. So, yeah, I think that's really going to happen. And in terms of the three caddy ladies with each other, we're talking about Jaclyn, Laurie, and Kate. That was also fairly heavy in this episode. We definitely see that. It feels like there's some, unresolved issues that they've had since high school, and that instead of just being true friends, this is more of a frenemies vibe. Of course, Jaclyn is trying to sneak out Mr. Attractive resort guy out in the crack of dawn. Kate sees it, and because they all gossip about each other when the third person's not there, Kate tells Laurie this, and Laurie, instead of laughing it off, you can tell that she's offended, as if something similar to this effect has happened when they were younger, when they were in high school. So that's all just playing out the way it's playing out. I think the next episode maybe focus a little more on the three ladies because of this whole Mai Tai fight that's going down, and just more tension growing. I feel like Laurie and Jaclyn might just throw hands at some point. Maybe we don't see that until the season finale, but it seems like if y'all still got a beef over something unresolved, and this particular act resurface again as adults, the whole Jaclyn pushing this attractive guy on the Laurie not taking the bait only for Jaclyn to sleep with the guy anyway. I think that has Laurie feeling kind of tight. Y'all might as well just throw hands and get over it. Maybe y'all friends afterwards, maybe y'all don't be friends afterwards. I don't know. Belinda and Punchai, I hope I said his name right. I don't mean any disrespect, clearly. That's a couple I didn't know I needed to see. I'm really rooting for them. Hopefully they can continue on their, rendezvous that they had, build up on it. Punchai's already came to her about the idea of them running a spa together. So I think that would be kind of dope. Possibly a leeway into season 4, should they do that again. And on top of that, the only thing that I am not a fan of, it looks like, Belinda runs into Gary, and, he invites her to his house. He clearly knows that she knows about him. So I think that's a bad idea. Her nor her son should go up there. But for some reason, I feel like maybe the gunshots may have started at the house. Of course, we get glimpses of that in the beginning of episode 1. I feel like some type of drama, ensues from Gary's house. And once again, you don't know who is the person who's unalived until you see the season finale. I'm hoping it's not Belinda, one of my favorite characters of the show, in addition to the rat-lipped daughter, who seems to be the most sane. Well, her and Lachlan seem to be the most sane people of the family. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, man. Hoping Belinda doesn't find some way to go to the house. But if you see the previews, it looks like the son is even trying to talk her into it. Let's see what he knows, whatever the case is. So I'm on the edge of my seats. We got 2 episodes left of White Lotus. Can't wait to see see what happens. That's my review. Love it or hate it. Let me know your thoughts. Peace.